It is 11 a.m. on a Thursday. You know that means it's time for My LoSo Lifestyle with Mary Schepp. And today she's got a very special guest, Nicole. Mary, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, of course, as always, and your guest.
So this is me. Hi, guys. This is me. My brain is mashed potatoes, so fair warning. And I'm doing my stuff while I'm doing other things. So Nicole is a good friend of mine. She's also my admin and my lifesaver for my groups that I started during the zombie apocalypse. In all honesty, she probably does more with my recipe group than I do, which I think is fan-fucking-tastic. There a little public disclaimer. Today's been kind of a rough day, so there might be quite a few F-bombs. I apologize for that. If you don't like it, you're just going to have to watch a different episode. So my Fresh from the Farm McHenry County group and McHenry County Recipe Share are the two groups that I created when the pandemic zombie apocalypse happened. And they both exploded really, really fast. The farm group more so than anything, that went to like 4,000 members in I think 2 weeks.
Like overnight. Yeah, it was so fast.
So I went, Nicole, help. And she did. And then now she's here. So she has an Instagram page if you want to follow her on Instagram. Again, public disclaimer. It's, what is that? Not safe for work. Not safe for work.
Yes.
And possibly young children. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. That one model.Nicole on Instagram. You can find her. It's fantastic. But like I said, fair warning before you open it up. Because she is a model. So take for that what you will and go look at it. Check her out. She's awesome. She's fantastic. She was also featured in High Times, I believe.
High Times, New York Magazine. I've been on billboards, a bunch of fun stuff. It's just fun creating and getting my art out there, you know?
I think everything about it is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
It's one of those things where I've always surrounded myself with people that are not scared to be who they are, regardless of who they are. And it's hard to do that. It's kind of like with me with swearing when everyone's like, I can't believe you don't swear more on your show. I swear a lot. It's just me. It's my personality. I don't give a shit. I don't swear on my show the most of the time because of the fact that I have a very wide range of listeners, and it's a matter of respect. So when you have certain people who are raised a certain way, there's certain things that give you the heebie-jeebies. If you're not a religious person, you might get the heebie-jeebies walking into a church. If you were raised in a very religious family or something like that, purely hearing somebody swear just gives you the willies and you don't like it. It makes you uncomfortable. I don't want to make people uncomfortable listening to my story. That being said, those that are near me know that I swear a lot. I enjoy swearing. I enjoy pointing out that research has shown that people who are more intelligent tend to swear because they tend to say whatever the fuck they want. And that is me. So I like to think that I'm smart and I don't give a shit. So long drawn out introduction, but we're talking about breakfast today.
Yes.
Which I think is funny because of all shows you decide to crash is my breakfast show.
I don't eat it. I don't like breakfast.
She doesn't eat breakfast. Do you eat breakfast, Pete?
I love breakfast, but I never eat it. Monday through Friday, I don't eat it.
So there's a dissertation there. So I'm not talking about whether or not you like breakfast, because I love breakfast. I will eat breakfast for
food,
dinner.
Yes.
All 3:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning, 8 a.m. It doesn't matter. Lunch. I love breakfast. It is my favorite meal of the day. Eggs and hash browns all day long, every day. Don't care. But I'm speaking specifically of eating in the morning. Like, do you make it a habit of eating in the morning?
Only on Saturdays and Sundays. That's it.
Is it just because that's your day off?
Saturday is my one day off a week, and Sunday I don't have to be in the studio until 8:30, so I'm up early enough to get something to eat. So
now, who do we got? Oh, hey, Dad.
Ken's. Yes, I'm real.
Kent had said, good to see that Nicole is a real person.
Oh, yes.
And not one of your other friends.
So I am I have very strong opinions about all that crap. When you have, fake friends on Facebook and fake whatevers and this, that, and the other. all of mine, well, not all of them, because I have a lot of friends on Facebook and I don't really pay attention to a lot of that, but they're real. She's a real person. So she is a real admin in my groups. And it's funny because we've had more drama in the last 24 hours.
Oh my gosh. Then since it even started.
Right. We have literally had no drama. Our farmer group.
Yeah. How do you have drama in a farmer
Oh my
group?
God.
You add people. That's
you breach a threshold.
The group
and apparently
grows.
Yeah.
Uh,
We had a friend. We were up at Dykstra's farm for tea one Thursday, and I know that sounds so weird, old ladyish, but it was actually true. We go and sit on Thursdays and have tea at a farm with a bunch of farm ladies, and it's fantastic. But they had all asked, like, oh my God, how did this group, it blew up and blah, blah, blah. And how it's got to be, so much this, that, and the other. And you must be deleting posts. Like, it has been zero drama. We haven't had to delete anything. We haven't had to do anything. We haven't had to school people or threaten people or, nothing. And then the past, nothing.
Yeah.
No drama. No, you shouldn't do this, that, or the other. And all of a sudden, yesterday, it was just like,
hey, there's Ted.
Oh, everywhere. Oh, hey, Ted. He was just in my store a week ago, maybe a couple weeks ago. Time has flown by.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, all of a sudden we have drama in our Facebook group. So it's kind of, I don't know, maybe it's a rite of passage.
It's, once you hit a certain amount of people, it's just bound to happen. Like,
well, I look at all the other groups, McHenry and all the other ones. It's like, holy shit. It's like,
I get it. I get it on the HR group that I have, but there's over 20,000, I think 22, 23,000, something like that.
bless your soul and doing HR because I would not.
We get way more than you would ever think from people who are supposed to be HR professionals. Yeah, we dump people from that group all the time. At least a few times a week.
we've been having to turn on
Post
approve from certain people because there's just no time for assholes, And
it's funny because part of the reason why it is so easy is we are both of the same opinion where it's like, so should we? And the fact that you asked me is she'll send me a message. Yeah, you asked me, so go ahead. Just we don't. It's done. I don't care. You're gone. I got 8 million other things to worry about than to whether or not you're going to get butt hurt because.
To do a thing that's technically a job that you don't get paid for.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Facebook isn't paying us a salary for this crap. I mean, neither is any of the farm people or whatever. And I know
don't get the benefit of food.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, that works.
I am a little spoiled. Not gonna lie. And it's funny because someone said something not too long ago about a farm he works at. And I was like, oh, yeah, which farm? So he tells me, I said, oh, yeah, I know that farm. You know my mom? I don't know her, but I know her farm.
Yeah.
And he was asking, I said, I apparently have become like the farm queen and I can't even have a chicken.
Yeah.
Like, apparently, side note, if you get it certified as a therapy animal, you can pretty much have anything you want.
There you go.
I want a puma.
A puma.
Do you think I could get a therapy puma?
I mean,
big giant, whatever. I don't know. Ted says I just shared your show. Oh, nice. Sounds good. We'll see you when you're not COVIDed. Did. So breakfast. It is literally, the studies have shown that it is the most important meal of the day. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason behind it. The way that your body processes food after fasting is different than it processes food after a day of being active. So when you wake up first thing in the morning, the reason that you're supposed to eat something is it triggers certain hormonal reactions in your body to tell you that today is going to be a plentiful day. So you will get food, you will have sustenance, and I don't need to store anything. So it doesn't matter if it's literally a dry piece of toast or a handful of Ritz crackers. If you eat something first thing in the morning with a glass of water, it triggers things in your body to go, I'm going to have what I need to have. And it stores things differently and it sets your body on a fasting schedule. Because we've talked about this before where if you eat at 6 o'clock at night and you don't get up until 7 o'clock the next morning, you just did a 10, 12 hour fast. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're busy in the morning and you have a little girl and you feed your kid and get him on the bus, and the next thing you know, you got to go over here and go over there and you still don't eat until 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's my life right there.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're now literally doing a 20-hour fast every single day.
Yeah.
So your body is storing things. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be obese or diabetic or have heart conditions.
I hope not.
But as a woman, you are 20% more likely to have type 2 diabetes in your later years simply because you don't eat something in the morning.
So I don't know. I can't even control. I'm just not hungry. I have no desire to eat. I literally makes me want to vomit eating in the morning. I just can't do it.
So if you shift, and it's a matter of habit.
Oh yeah, sure.
So if you shift, and even if it's something like a handful of grapes or a half a peach, and it's funny. Now here's the messed up thing. There's actually studies that show they took, I forget how many, but a lot of people that were obese, classified as morbidly obese, and gave them a dessert with their breakfast. They wanted to see how sugar affected you earlier in the day versus having dessert with dinner. And
I mean, I can get on board with maybe some
Right,
cake for breakfast,
right.
you know?
a significant portion of them lost like 40 pounds.
Okay. All right.
So now, of course, you still have to watch your diet and eat moderate. Like the other key component to that is you have to be active. You have to burn the calories that you put in. So it doesn't give you free reign to eat an entire chocolate cake like I would do.
But what you're saying is they found that by giving them more sugary things
Earlier
on, then they burn that off because more energy through the day.
Correct.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Correct.
All right.
It also depends on the sugar. So if you're going to have a dessert, like I'm a fan of, I did a picture of it once upon a time early on in my show, a banana split, but with yogurt and honey instead of ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like having dessert because it's just, I hate bananas, and it was a nice way to have a banana with the tart yogurt and honey and berries and sweet stuff to kind of mask the banana. And it was awesome. It was a boatload of sugar, but it's the right kind of sugar because it's grown. It's balanced fructose, glucose in with fibers and all the other stuff that you need so you don't crash, which is awesome. So it turns out that studies show that you might actually be better off eating your sweet stuff early on in the day. Okay.
Wow.
So on topic.
Ted's complaining about telemarketers.
Hey,
Wrong show.
I was a fun fact. I was a telemarketer for 12 years.
Oh my gosh.
And it was
How did you have the patience for that?
It was one of my favorite jobs ever.
Really?
Because I mean, I've heard it all. Okay, you can't tell me anything that I've never. It's given me so much thick skin for my adult life that nothing can even faze me anymore. Seriously.
What did you sell?
I was in the phone room for Kirby's.
Oh, the vacuum?
Yes.
The can't be killed?
Yes. And I did a long stretch, of, I want to say about right around 12 years.
Man.
Yeah. I loved it though. And I still, I still talk to some of the Kirby girls, and it's been lifelong friendships now at this point, basically.
I believe that.
Do you have a Kirby?
I do. Yes.
There you go.
Are they all that they're made up to be?
They're awesome. They are, I would
Maybe.
I mean, they're awesome. They really are. But there's a lot more out there for much better price.
That's what I was going to say.
It's everybody's needs of what you need. So,
so it's funny. Again, it's my show. I can go off on as many tangents as I want to, because I need to mention the fact that when you talk about price, I got to give a shout out to Gold Shield Services. They've been on a couple shows. They're my HVAC company. I have to tell you, when you talk about having, I hate it. When you see someone do you have a construction guy that's cheap? Do you have a plumber that's cheap?
You get what you pay for.
Do you have a roofer that's cheap? Do you have any idea how much workman's comp insurance is alone? How about electricians? Do you know, or plumbers for that matter? Those two trades, electricians, I'm almost certain that at a minimum, if you go nonstop and full bore with your apprenticeship and your schooling and your degrees, it's still a minimum of 4 years just to be able to get out in the field. And you say, oh, can't you just do it on the side for $100? Are you freaking kidding me? So when people talk about price, it pisses me off, because when you get someone that is of a caliber that does things correctly, I had an issue with my boiler. It went out. I sent a message to my guy. It's 7:00 in the morning.
Well, you can talk about them all you want because they are advertisers
really are.
on the station. They
They're
sponsor Uncle Pete in the
fantastic.
morning. Yeah.
So I sent him a message at 7:00, said, funny story. And literally, this was my text. Funny story. I have no heat. You what? Something's leaking. I don't know. I have no heat. So he says, okay. And then 2 seconds later, bloop, 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 I get a text message that says, your appointment with Gold Seal Services has been scheduled.
Yay.
And a technician is on his way. So just a word of wisdom from a homeowner. I've been screwed too many times by we did it and it's a good price and it's a good this. When you get a certain caliber of service, you get what you pay for.
Yes.
And I am a huge proponent of that. So just you take that for what you will. That was my little grain of salt because I'm really happy with my guys.
Yes, I have a company that I go to for everything.
Mhm.
Like you treat them good, they treat you good, you know?
Right.
Like with everything in life, honestly.
It is. So I bought a down comforter. And when I bought it at the time, years ago, my first one ever. So I was like, I can't believe you spent that much money on that freaking thing. I had it for 10 years.
Yeah.
You get what you freaking pay for. My stupid shoes, my New Balance that I got. I pissed and moaned forever. I don't care. I don't want to spend that much money on a pair of shoes. And now they do what they're advertised and my back doesn't hurt after working a 12-hour shift. So,
Game changing.
Right.
Yes.
Same with, we were just talking, so we had Dr. Ron Masakawa was my chiropractor from Midwest Wellness Health Center. He was on the show last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then Natural Therapy Wellness is a sponsor of the show.
Yes, the
And she goes to them.
Yes.
And we were just saying, you get what you pay for. And when you get a good chiropractor, therapist, and acupuncture, we're huge proponents of that as well. So now that we've got all of our impromptu shout outs to all of our people.
Which we never do on this show.
I know, right?
But hey, yeah.
And that was
really
totally
cool.
not planned. That was legit just me.
Yeah.
I just love my crew and I love my service and I love all of that stuff. But so what is Kent complaining about there?
Well, he's being Kent.
Oh yeah.
So
a cup of coffee first thing in the morning. See that? Instantly. Like I'm actually teaching my daughter how to make coffee in the morning. So maybe she can get a go on it or something in the morning. But because we're doing e-learning now, so we're home and this is my life skill, home teaching.
So now back to breakfast with children, the studies, so two things. One with coffee, coffee is actually really good for you.
Okay.
And if you have 1 or 2 cups of coffee, black coffee a day, the antioxidants and the benefits of the coffee actually reduces your chances of liver disease significantly, which I always joke. I wish somebody told me that before I got liver disease.
I should be set then.
I know, right?
I never don't have coffee.
That's how I usually am.
So the problem is all of the good stuff in coffee is fat soluble. So as soon as you put creamer in it, you pretty much negate all the good stuff. So you got to drink black coffee, which I'm fine with, but I also, as I've stated before,
You like some of the
drink it, but
I like both.
if there's some creamer there, I'm definitely going to use it.
So I will say that I like good black coffee.
Oh,
coffee snob to coffee snob. If it's a good
yes.
coffee, then I will drink it black.
That's true.
And that stuff that we've got now that we're using, because my wife found a bag of it, that Death Wish coffee. Oh,
That is good coffee. Death Wish is
$20
good
a bag, but you get what you pay.
Yeah,
for.
It's
you
good
got
stuff.
it.
Yeah, exactly. You get what you
That
pay
is
for.
good stuff, that Death Wish
So,
coffee.
So coffee is good for you and it is fine for breakfast, and coffee is actually better for you for breakfast than any kind of juice whatsoever. So unless you're literally squeezing your own juice, the other stuff that you're drinking is not juice. So, or unless you're paying like $7 a bottle for a small bottle of fresh squeezed juice from a grocer that actually does it, or the ones that are prepackaged that is nothing but juice. And I will tell you, they are not sweet.
Yeah.
Because it's just not. They're really tart. So skip the juice. But for children, there was a study, and I wish I had notes and time to do notes this morning because then I could cite where I got this study, but it was their Nobel Prize winners. But they did all these studies on breakfast, and the human body and how it reacts to the environment and the solar schedules and all of these different things, and your wake and sleep periods and fasting periods. But for children who eat breakfast, it's better for their cognitive abilities, their energy levels, and studies have shown that children who had a regular meal of some sort, like I said, even a piece of toast, because their bellies are really, really tiny. They don't need a whole lot. But if they get food first thing in the morning, they're less likely to have a lot of addiction issues later on in life. Because as you're growing and your body is balancing both chemically and hormonally, you have a better chance of having a balanced chemical brain, which means it reduces your risk of depression, anxiety, social issues, addiction issues, because addiction is addiction. Everybody has addiction. I don't care who you are. You go and give up salt and tell me that you don't have an addiction, or sugar, or caffeine, or Starbucks, or pot, or cigarettes, or whatever it is, alcohol. I don't care if you're a social drinker. Quit drinking, not for a day or a weekend. Quit drinking for a month. A, tell me how you feel, and B, tell me how easy it was to do that. Because as somebody who quit sometime in 2015,
that's when I quit smoking cigarettes.
I quit cigarettes at the same time, but I kind of had to. But we just figured out Ben quit smoking like 3 years ago or some crap like that. I was like, holy shit, time flies, dude.
That's awesome.
Like you're blink, you're like, holy crap, I haven't had a drink in forever.
After like 3 years, though, that's when you start getting like your full like taste buds back.
Yep.
And like it's game changing after you get to that point.
Right.
It really is.
Of course, dead silence right as everybody stops talking and I drink my coffee.
Well,
But it's